What's up, guys? Welcome back to the shop. This week's video, we're gonna continue moving some things around and putting them where they need to go, and we're also gonna start working on some projects. So here we go. All right, so for the most part, everything is pretty much where it needs to be. The only thing really left to do is finish off the dust collection, which we're waiting for the ducting, which will be in after Memorial Day weekend. So it'll be in next Tuesday. So next week we will get that dialed in, which is going to be amazing. But other than that, the shop is feeling really, really good. We're just having to kind of use temporary dust collection at the machines. So that's a little annoying. But other than that, really digging the layout. All right, so Monday morning we picked up right where I left off last weekend and continued with cleaning up the shop. Started with pulling down the old dust collection ductwork. I had just used HVAC piping from Home Depot and it really worked great. Just kidding. You guys know my dust collection has not been great. And then we built some platforms for some of the machines, especially this one for the sander. This thing is a beast to try and move, so this will be nice. We obviously made it so you can get the pallet jack in there and move this thing around as needed. Did the same thing for the joiner. My brother-in-law just modified it because we already had one for that, but made it so we can use the pallet jack to pick it up easily. Rowdy was working on getting that dust collector wired up, ran a new circuit for that, and then we decided to move the slider over. We ended up moving it just to the left, pushing it away from the dust collector and the edge bander. We moved it probably 18 inches or so, and it just freed up a lot of space and made it more comfortable to kind of move around that side of the saw. Back over to the area by my bench. This has always been something that I've wanted to do, is build the hinge boring machine into a workbench somewhere. So I decided to tackle this. We moved the drill press around. This drill press is actually Rowdy's because I actually don't have one. Something I've been meaning to buy for years, but just never really did. Eventually, we'll get a nice fancy drill press. And then back to what I was doing. So these cabinets here were from my old table saw outfeed table, and I moved them into the new part of the shop and decided to move them and repurpose them again. And so I'm going to build these around the hinge boring machine and make a little workbench area over here. And so I took the casters off the hinge boring cabinet, put some plywood feet on there, put some plywood feet on these two cabinets, and obviously put one on the right and left. And I got the feet height basically, so this bench is the same height as the bench that is up against the back wall. And then I had some of this textured melamine stuff in the rack that I decided to use up, and so I'm using this for the countertops for these cabinets. Just easing the edge with a round over bit. So we get those attached, and then I've got my laser. I've got a mark on that block of wood up there, and I'm just going around and shimming everything nice and level, and then we get it screwed together and screwed to the wall. Now obviously we're covering up that doorway there. We're not going to go in and out that door anymore, obviously, since we have the big opening on the other side. And then I extended this countertop so that we could put the fridge under there. Got to have a little mini fridge in the shop. And so yeah, and then I just threw a little end panel on there and screwed it to the countertop and then screwed it to the floor.
And I had Roger put some toe kick pieces on the front of this so dust doesn't get all underneath there, because stuff will just accumulate underneath those cabinets. And this little area turned out really nice. We got air ran to the machine. I just need to figure out some kind of dust collection, which I think I am going to run through the wall from the back side for that hinge boring machine, because it does make a mess. And then I moved my toolbox into the other space, and this is where it's going to live for now. This was my grandpa's. He was a mechanic, and that was his toolbox. It's an old Snap-on box, and it's really cool. And yeah, I will always have that in my shop. All right, finally we could work on some projects. So this is part of that Rift White Oak job, and there are some floating shelves in the kitchen. And what I'm doing here is laying out, because in the bottom shelf it gets the LED lighting, which is easy, which will just route into the bottom of it. But then it also gets a plug strip that goes along the back edge about 2 feet or 2 inches in, but it's 3/4 thick, and so I need to add some pieces to the back of that so that it has something to screw into, because these are 2-inch hollow shelves. So here I'm just mitering everything the way I've been cutting the miters on the saw, because this tilts to the right. So using the fence, your piece is upside down, and it actually works really good because it kind of is pushing the piece down. Whereas when you're cutting your miters with your face up, it always wants to lift your piece up. So for smaller pieces like that, it's kind of nice. All right, so this is in between my shelf. So this is the piece of 1/2 inch I'm adding, because I'm going to have to route out the bottom to put that plug mold in there, and this is basically going to be what it will get screwed to. And so I didn't want to put any nails in that, because I'm going to have to route the groove, and I didn't want to hit nails with my router bits. This will all make sense later. It's kind of confusing, but the dados will turn the corner as well. So I've been coordinating with the electrician to get these things done. He kind of laid out where he wants the plug strips and all that, so that there's no confusion. And then we got those things glued up, sanded, and Rowdy got some lacquer on them. We spray water-based lacquer. It's Gemini Evo, and we use all water-based products. And then I can move on to working on something else. This is like kind of like a mudroom bench thing. It goes in the laundry room at this house. And doing some double biscuits there for that piece. It will get scribed to the wall with the Lamello Zeta P2. Always making things easy. This cabinet, which you'll see in a minute, I'll show you guys the drawing, is pretty big and awkward, and it's gonna get built in pieces on site. We're gonna deliver it in pieces, and that's just gonna make it easier, because it's gonna be very tight. It's a pretty big cabinet, and it's got to go floor to ceiling, and so to build it in one piece and try and bring it in and scribe things would be very difficult. And with the Lamello, it makes it real easy, because assembly on site will be a breeze with all the Lamello connectors. If you need a Lamello, let me know. My email's below, and I'll get you set up with a sales rep, and they will take care of you. It is an incredible, incredible machine, and you guys know that I love that thing.
All right, so just thought I'd show you guys real quick what I'm actually working on. So this is that big back that is glued up and sprayed in the other side, and then it's got this little bench, and it's open here. Is this right here. So what's tricky about this is that it's obviously floor to ceiling, and it's pretty big, so it's gonna get put together in parts all on site. So we'll get everything sprayed here and then we'll put it together on the job site. All right, so that's it, guys. That's it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. This thing, you guys will see this cabinet all put together and installed. This job is coming out really, really nice. So we'll definitely do a walkthrough there when it's all complete. But this cabinet is gonna look pretty cool. No sense in me really assembling the whole thing right now. It's got to get sanded and sprayed, and I've already kind of laid it out to where I know everything's gonna work. But yeah, that's it for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We are right about to start some really big jobs. It is going to be a crazy, crazy busy summer in the shop. So stay tuned. Lots of content coming. Lots of cool, different projects. So I'm stoked about that. It's been a fun year so far with multiple different styles of projects. So it's been a nice variety. A couple years ago, we were like stuck in this everything white shaker everything, and it got pretty boring pretty fast. So this is the kind of stuff I like to do. Appreciate the suggestions on the bases for the machines. I don't know why I didn't think of that a long time ago, but yeah, those machines, especially that sander, are very difficult to move if it's not on a platform that can be lifted up. So that's awesome. So we will obviously keep you guys updated on the dust collection and getting that all tied in. That could be a video just on its own, running that ductwork, which is going to happen next week. It's just going to be really, really nice. So we'll definitely keep you updated on that and how it works. But it is awesome knowing the machine is wired up, it's ready to go, it's in its home, and so yeah, just stoked to really put it to work. So that's it. You guys have questions, leave them below. Patreon link is below. Amazon link is below for shop stuff that I use, and check it out. Yeah, merch, the website's below as well. I am working on t-shirts. T-shirts with some new designs are coming soon, I promise. And I think they're gonna be pretty cool. So be on the lookout for that. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you next week. Peace.